Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. A milestone agreement is signed between farmers and the Regional Council. Feedback is sought on a proposal to deal with remains of the Rena wreck. And Rotorua Bike Festival, a hit with riders. Rotorua Farmers and Bay of Plenty Regional Council have signed a milestone agreement which could be a major turning point in cleaning up Lake Rotorua. The Lake Rotorua Primary Producers Collective, Federated Farmers and Bay of Plenty Regional Council have signed a memorandum of understanding, agreeing on a way forward to reduce nutrients entering the lake while recognising the importance of farming to the local economy. Farmers and the Regional Council had been in talks with the Rotorua MP Todd McLay since November last year. Mr McLay said he decided to intervene to help reach consensus between the rural community and council as the future of farming was as important as a clean lake.
Oh, look, I'm really pleased that we've been able to pull all of this together. Since I became a Member of Parliament 5 years ago, the issue of lake water quality in Lake Rotorua has been a thorn in everybody's side. It was the monster in the room, and it's probably a water body in New Zealand with the greatest challenges around cleaning it up. The signing of this agreement today commits all parties to focusing on the future, to finding ways to clean up the lake, but importantly to support farming, jobs and income in our local economy, because we can't do without, we can't have one without the other.
Bay of Plenty Regional Council Chief Executive Mary Ann McLeod says the agreement set out an intent to work together to achieve sustainable nitrogen levels for Lake Rotorua's water quality by 2032.
There's going to be some really difficult conversations to come, but I think the key thing is that it sets up a mechanism to do that and also a willingness to get to a solution. We've all now agreed what the outcome is we're looking for, which is a massive step forward. And then it's just about, okay, how do we get along that journey? I'm sure we'll go down a few side tracks, but we'll get there.
The agreement reached by Federated Farmers and the Council on the 2032 timeframe is subject to the Environment Court's approval. The owner and insurer of the Rena has announced dates for the next round of community consultation on the future cleanup of the wreck. Next week, 2 community meetings will be held at Club Mount Manganui and the Mount Surf Club. On the agenda will be consultation on a proposal from the owners to leave the remaining sections of the wreck underwater. The proposal being put forward will involve an application for consent under the Resource Management Act. Waiariki MP Te Uroa Flavel says the Māori electoral option starting next month is important and Māori voters on the general roll should reconsider their options. The Electoral Commission has started publishing information on the electoral option, which allows Māori to choose between enrolment on the general or Māori roll. Mr Flavel says if every Māori voter was on the Māori roll, it would mean more seats in Parliament and a bigger say on who governs.
If every Māori was on the Māori roll, there'd be 12 to 14 seats. And if that was the case on an MMP, no government could govern without a Māori partner on the assumption that those 14 or 12 to 14 seats were held by one party. And we've always believed that, and that's why we're very much looking at the party vote at the next election and standing candidates in general seats. So it's really important that people firstly register in the census, but secondly take that opportunity because it's only a 4-month opportunity. It starts on the 25th of March, yes. 25th of March, and it's 4 months only. If you don't change then, you are stuck on that roll for the next 5 years.
In sport tonight, the inaugural Rotorua Bike Festival is over and the success of the event is now being assessed. Anecdotal accounts are positive with a mix of professional and community events during the 2-week festival being well balanced with riders across the board having a great time. One of the final events of the festival was the weekend's BMX National Trials. Riders from around the country raced for the chance to represent New Zealand at the World Champs. Olympic medalist Sarah Walker was there lending her support to the event. She says this is the first year there have been trials as the popularity of BMX has grown.
Yeah, it's the first year at World Champs that we're actually restricted numbers. So in all classes in the elite, so junior and elite and both men and women, we're actually restricted to the amount of entries we can have for the first time ever. So we actually have more people for those spots than spots available. So the races that we're having this weekend and a few other weekends is basically selection races to try and get those spots and secure them for the World Champs.
Rotorua BMX President Grant Butterworth says more riders are coming through the ranks. He says riders are starting younger.
For sure, we've got junior development programs here at the Rotorua Club. So Monday nights and Thursday nights training. So we have a Rising Stars program for the real littlies, and we've got all different facets of the track here, from small stuff for them to learn, and then they advance onto the main track.
Also on the weekend was the Skyline Sprint Warrior. Around 200 mountain bikers enjoyed 3 hours of mountain biking on the course before official racing started at 5:30 p.m. Mountain bikers travelled to the top of the course on the Skyline gondola and took between 2 and 3 minutes to get to the bottom of the course. Win Masters won the men's event in 2 minutes and 1, while Emmeline Rago took the women's section in 2 minutes 13 seconds. Event organiser Tak Mutu of Mountain Bike Rotorua says the event exceeded expectations with fantastic feedback from riders and spectators. To Weather Now Rotorua, brought to you by Bidfest Food Service. Tonight looks to be fine with some light winds, an overnight low of 11. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is also fine with some light winds, a high of 25 and a low of 11. Looking out to Thursday now, looks to be fine with some light winds, a high of 26 and a low of 13. The marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, variable 5 knots, rising to northerly 10 knots for a time in the afternoon and evening, with waves less than half a metre and fine. Remember, for program listings and to upload your videos, check out our website tvrotorua.co.nz. Still to come tonight on City News, we find out about the biggest potluck dinner, Alan Solomon meets the founder of There's a Better Way and the famous basketball players he's brought to New Zealand.